Hi, I'm Sara.
And I'm Levi.
And today we're going to tell you a story about a young hero and a horrible giant.
David
and Goliath.
Enjoy the story!
This is a story of David and Goliath from the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. God's people had some scary enemies, but the Philistines were the scariest of them all. And now, the Philistines had come to fight them. The Philistines had a secret weapon called Goliath. Goliath was a terrifying soldier, and worst of all, a giant. He was so strong and so tall and so scary that no one had ever been able to fight him and live to tell the tale. So there they were, the Philistines standing on top of one hill, God's people, pretty scared, standing on top of the other hill.
Every day Goliath came out and shouted, "Send your best soldier to fight me. If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will be our slaves." No one spoke. No one even moved. "Chickens!" Goliath bellowed. "Your God can't save you. I'll rip your heads off and have you for breakfast." His beady, greedy eyes glowered at them hungrily from under his horrible helmet, as if any minute he might really just gobble them all up, and he laughed his terrible laugh. Ha 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 ha. Well, Goliath might just as well have been a green slimy monster with 3 heads, because God's people froze with fear. Their eyes glazed over, and they turned deathly pale. They knew if someone didn't do something quick, if someone didn't save them. But don't worry, God's people. God would do something. He would send someone to save them. Now, you remember David was the youngest son of Jesse? Well, his brothers were soldiers in the army. One day when David brought his brothers their lunches, he saw Goliath, and he saw how scared everyone was.
"Don't be afraid,"
David said.
"I'll fight him for you."
"You're only a little shepherd boy," the king said. "And Goliath is a great soldier. How will you fight him?"
"God will help me."
So the king gave David his royal armor to wear, but it was too heavy and too big, and David couldn't even walk.
"I won't need this."
Instead, David picked out 5 smooth stones from the stream.
1, 2, this one looks good. 3, which one should I choose now? Oh, this one's good. 4, and 5.
And he took his slingshot and walked towards Goliath. As David made his way towards Goliath, Goliath laughed. "Ha ha 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 ha! Am I a dog that you come at me with a stick? Come closer to me so I can tear you limb from limb." Well, I'm actually rather offended by that comment. What do you think?
Ruff, ruff.
Goliath peered down at the small boy.
"I am small."
David shouted up to him.
"But God is great!"
Goliath laughed an even more terrible laugh than usual. "Ha ha 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 ha!" It went. With just one swing of his giant sword, Goliath could finish the boy off. But David kept talking.
"It isn't how strong you are or how many swords you have that will save you. It is God who saves you. This is God's battle, and God always wins his battles."
David put a stone in his sling, swung it around, and let it go. The little stone flew whiz like a bullet through the air and struck Goliath, thud, right between the eyes. He stumbled and staggered, and then fell dead. When the Philistines saw that Goliath had been defeated, they all ran away. And when God's people saw the Philistines running away, they cheered. David was a hero. But David knew he wasn't the real hero. God was the hero. And many years later, God would send his people another young hero to fight for them and to save them. And that hero is Jesus. The end. Well, not the end.